Help me, Mama.
Hello everybody, this is Emily for Help Me Mama, and tonight I wanted to talk about the 3 women you need the most in your life when you become a new mom. And they're pretty basic and pretty simple. And just as a four-note, if either the mentor or the friend are not in your life, get one! You need them! So let's dive in. Number 1 is mom, your mom. Most of us are blessed to still have our moms alive and around. And I would suggest that if you are not, if you and your mom are not on the best terms, now is the perfect occasion and now is the best time to reconcile. You have a new baby, and if at all possible, she wants to be in that baby's life. You want your mom to be in your baby's life. You want your baby to know your mom. Now, most of us are probably, hopefully, having a good relationship with our parents. And I cannot tell you enough how invaluable the support and advice and love that my mom has given me and to my children. It's just amazing. I mean, your mom is going to love your baby like you love your baby. I always remember my mom saying that. She asked my grandma when she was about to become a grandma, "Is it different with the grandkids?" And my grandma said, "Oh no, it's the same. You love them just the same as your own kids." And my mom has said that that's exactly the experience that she had, that she loves my kids just like she loved us. And so it's amazing to have that kind of love, you know, basically double from you and from your mom and from your husband. You know, that family love is so strong. And I can't tell you the middle of the night desperation that has been soothed the next morning by calling my mom. Your mom is just the person that you need. I think you want to be close to your mom. If you can live close to your parents, you know, those half the way across the country relationships can be very difficult for both parties. You want the help and the support. You want to be able to go on a date and leave your baby with somebody that you trust. So I say get close to your mom. You know, even if you have a good relationship with your mom, that relationship deepens when you become a mom. So definitely you need your mom if you have her around. I know that there are some of us who have lost mothers, and I would say if you can, seek out a beloved aunt and just be honest and say, "I don't have my mom. Can I lean on you, especially in this time when I have a new baby?" And I'm sure that any dear family member would love to do that. Not that they would replace your mom, but that they would love to step in and just be supportive to you in this time, in this joyful time. Number 2 is mentor. And as a qualification for a mentor, I would say that this is a woman with children who has had children for 10 years longer than you. And I think that differentiation in age of children, at least, brings a lot of wisdom because, and this has to be a self-reflective woman, a godly woman, someone who has, I mean, basically what I did is I looked around my church and I thought, who has kids that I want my kids to be like? And I picked a couple of women, and I had boys first, so I specifically picked a couple of women who had boys. Not that there weren't other women to choose, but these are the women around me that I chose to sort of go to. And so they have to have older kids, they have to have sort of, you want somebody who sort of has the same worldview as you so that you can, you know, bounce ideas off of them, and you're going to be getting feedback like along the lines of like, okay, this is where I'm tracking, that's where I'm moving to. So somebody that you look up to who has kids that are good. I mean, what's hard is that, you know, you might look around and be like, man, everybody's kids are nuts. And sometimes it's just not the parent's fault, you know. Sometimes a parent is doing exactly what they can and they have a wayward child, and, you know. But in general, you want to follow someone's example who's done it really, really well. So somebody who has great kids, kids older than your kids, somebody who's preferably older than you who can give you wisdom, and somebody who just sticks close to the Lord, is willing to just listen to you and then give sound and godly advice. Okay, also, a mentor is important as far as being separate from your mom. Like, your mom is a mentor, but also you want to have a mentor who is not your mom, because although you have a lot in common with your mom, and you'll probably have a similar parenting style, whether you like it or not, you don't want to do probably everything exactly the same as your mom. Now, my mom and I are very similar. We do a lot of things the same, but there are some situations where I needed somebody else's advice. And that's not to knock my mom. I think she's the greatest mom in the whole entire world. But it's good to have somebody who you can sort of step outside the family to and say, what's your take on this? Okay, so mentor and mom, preferably not the same person. And I would say with your mentor, just like with your mom, take constructive criticism and be humble and teachable. I cannot tell you the just amazing benefits that I have received by changing my attitude from being prideful, and I have to struggle with this constantly, from being prideful to being humble, to being thinking that I'm the greatest thing on the planet, to learning from someone else. And sometimes that can be hard, but that is what a mentor is supposed to do. It's supposed to help you when you are not on the right path and steer you back. Now, sometimes it's easier for mom to do this because she knows you and she's been like correcting you for your whole entire life, and it's easier for her to say like, sister, you need to calm down right now. You're freaking out. Your baby's fine. But as far as like, principles and things like that, find a good mentor, listen to them. Like, you picked them because you wanted to listen to them, right? The last person is a friend, and this one is very basic, but, and again, there's sort of an asterisk next to this. You want to find a friend with kids your age, somebody that you're going through all of this with. And so the friends that you might have been your coworkers, people you went to school with, if they don't have kids, it's not that you can't be friends with them anymore. Please continue to be friends with them. But you're going to have a different relationship now. So to your friends who don't have kids, be considerate of them, okay? Talk about other things, because they're not in the stage and they just don't understand, and they want you to understand that they don't understand, okay? So as a side note, be nice to your friends who don't have kids. But also find a friend who does have kids, who you can, share frustrations with, even vent to, who you can share the joys of childhood with, of being a parent in their childhood with. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to, as a sister in Christ especially, to bear the burdens of motherhood and share the joys and share the victories with a friend who is like completely understanding of your situation. It's amazing. So find a friend around your stage of motherhood. Now, it can be hard. So especially first time around, if you don't know anyone, you're at your stage of motherhood, all of your old friends don't have kids, and anybody who you're like looking around is like they all have kids ahead of you. Or my situation was, I went to a church where there were lots of young moms who were just having kids, but I was sort of new at the church and I didn't really know them at the time. I'd sort of been there a while, but not really introduced myself. I'll tell you what happened. My mentor said, Emily, if you're looking for a mom friend, there are other women in our church who feel just the same way as you do. And if you don't know them, go and introduce yourself. You're a grown-up person. I was like, yeah, I am kind of the most extroverted out of the bunch probably. So I ended up going over to one of these, girls and saying, basically, hi, I'm Emily, and we have babies that are the same age. Want to be friends? And she was like, yeah, I've been really wanting a friend. And I thought, why didn't I do this before? It was so silly. Because it can be, like I've talked about before, it can be a lonely time when you have a new baby and you don't know any other moms with babies. So Go, don't be afraid. Go and introduce yourself, okay? You're not the only one in this pickle. You can find a friend. And hopefully you find a friend who, you guys just can love on each other. Oh, what is it? Proverbs says, a brother is born for adversity. And so in this case, a sister is born for adversity. And you can bear these adverse trials, but also the joys and the triumphs with a sister. So these are my 3 women you need the most when you first have a baby and as a mom. I hope this was helpful to you. Please give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was helpful. You can always subscribe and pass it along to a friend. Pass it along to your friend, the friend that you picked, right?